We've seen a lot of box office disappointments and disasters for Marvel over the last couple of years, but one of the worst movies that even some people were excited for initially that they had to finally admit was a stinker was Thor: Love and Thunder. This movie was an abomination. It was a massive disappointment at the box office as well, and it really led to people questioning if Taika Waititi's the right man for the job, which I was saying that back for Ragnarok, even though that wasn't a popular opinion. But now that Thor: Love and Thunder is out there for everybody to witness, nearly everyone was calling for Taika Waititi to be moved on from when it came to Marvel. Yet Taika Waititi was out there not that long ago talking about what he would do for a potential Thor 5 movie. Not that it necessarily been greenlit, not that he was involved, but if he were to do it, what they'd have to do, a compelling villain, this and that, to make sure that the next part of the story is ready to go. Well, it didn't look like everybody was on the same page. Chris Hemsworth certainly was disappointed with Thor: Love and Thunder. He even mocked it and made fun of how stupid and silly it was at times, and looked like he was kind of ready to move on from that iteration of the character. Well, that might be what Marvel's looking to do, because the newest report is that Thor 5 is in the works with no Taika Waititi. Maybe he's just busy writing his Star Wars movie. Who knows? Rumor: Marvel developing Thor 5 without Taika Waititi. Search for replacement director currently ongoing. This particular hopeful whisper was first raised on October 26, courtesy of a post made by noted scooper Daniel RPK from his personal Patreon account. As relayed to the public through a number of prominent Twitter news accounts, including blah, 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 the scooper noted not only had Marvel recently turned their attentions to continuing Thor's solo series, but the studio was searching for a new director to helm its next entry project. Notably, while Rickman didn't explicitly mention the director by name, his mention that Marvel's looking for someone new to tackle Thor's story implies Waititi's time with the franchise is over. Now, who knows? Just a rumor and a report, but holy shit, there's a lot of momentum behind that. People would have loved that. Now, I don't know if people are begging for a Thor 5. I don't know if Chris Hemsworth would even be down to do it necessarily, but you have to imagine that after this disaster, after Taika Waititi mocking how bad the CGI looked, after everyone says Taika Waititi is clearly not the guy to do this, it would make sense to move on from him. The fact that he's going to write a Star Wars movie, I don't think that's ever going to see the light of day. I don't think it's ever going to actually happen. And even if it did, I think it would be embarrassment. I don't think Taika Waititi is good for that type of thing. But the idea that after the disaster that Thor: Love and Thunder was, which some people, remember, I'll remind you once again, there were some people out there, some people that even cover the entertainment industry for a living, that tried to tell everybody Thor: Love and Thunder was this huge success. When no, it was a complete and total nightmare. It was a disaster. It was a disappointment, on top of many other disappointments we've seen from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. When you look at how many people went to this compared to Thor Ragnarok, it was a drop off of like 40% when you look at Americans who went to go see this based on breaking down ticket price numbers, things like that. A colossal disappointment, a massive failure for them. So bad that it looks like they might want to move off Taika Waititi entirely. That might be actually some good news from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Does anyone want a Thor 5? Is Chris Hemsworth down to do a Thor 5? Or are they just going to have him, discovering himself once again? Well, at least it might have a chance if Taika Waititi's not involved.